Hey guys, today is day 26 and today I want to talk about funding your future. And I'm going to be reading a little bit from some notes that I took just because I want to make sure that I got the numbers correct. And as I went over this, there's just a lot of information and I want to make sure that I'm giving it correctly. So today I want to talk about funding your future. So there was an article on pensionrightscenter.org and they were talking about people who have a savings or retirement account. And what they came to find out was 54% of working persons participate in a workplace retirement plan. 23% have a pension plan, and 40% have a retirement savings plan. Now, there was a survey taken by GoBank Rates, and what it showed was 1 out of 3 Americans have no savings. They have nothing for retirement. 23% of those that do have savings have less than 10,000 saved. On a website called The Motley Fool, they were giving out some social security numbers, and at retirement, a monthly allowance or the social security payout benefit was $1,400 a month for those that were able to get social security. I don't even think that's going to be available when it's my time to, pull my social security at 65 or 70 or whatever they're going to move it up to at that point. In USA Today, they ran an article and they took statistics from houses that were ran by 65-year-olds and older, looking at their retirement, social security, and looking at their bills. And they took 7 of the top categories that they could think of for living expenses after you retire, and they told them up and looked at what the pay is monthly as a retiree. Now they're assuming that by the time you retire, they're assuming that there's no house payment, they're assuming that there's no car payment, and they were assuming that there's little or no credit card payment. So I just want to go over the statistics that they showed for cost of living after you retire. So the first one is housing. Now, assuming that your house is paid off or close to being paid off, you still have your property taxes, insurance, repairs and maintenance, and household supplies. And they tally that at $1,322. Again, if you have a partial mortgage left or if you're paying rent, obviously add that on top of that. Then you have transportation. There's gas, insurance, maintenance, and repairs. They total that at $567 a month. Again, if there's a car payment, add that on also. Healthcare was $499, and their survey was taken back in 2016, so I'm sure some of these have gone up since then. I couldn't find anything that was newer as in like last year or this year. But as far as 2016, it was $499 for medical out of pocket, but I'm sure that's more expensive now. Food, they said is $483 a month, and it was a lot lower than people that were in their 20s and 30s, and only because they think that retirees stay in and eat in homemade food more often than going out to eat. Personal insurance or pensions, now there's some that are retired but they're still working, and so they're paying taxes back into what they're making, and that's $237. Then contributions, they found that more retirees are more charitable, so they give donations, and usually it's about $202. And then the last category was entertainment, and whatever maybe they go to the movies or they go to I don't know, but it didn't really specify, I just said entertainment, but that's $197. So when you add up all those categories on a monthly basis, they're roughly around $3,500 a month. Now the average Social Security was paying out $1,400 a month. So there's a difference of about $2,100 that's missing. So where are they getting this extra money from? Again, this is saying that they don't have a mortgage or a car payment, or it's almost paid down. So that's why you see older folks that are working at Walmart, because what they have after they retire, they really can't retire. They have to keep working. Before it was where you would have your mom and dad at a certain age move in with you and your family, but seeing how no one's prepared for savings nowadays, you have a lot of 35, late 20s, 30-year-olds that are either still with their parents or moving back in with their parents because the parents may have a better sense of savings than them. But when is it going to start? When are we going to start saving and actually putting a plan together? So I want to speak about pensions, 401ks, and retirement savings. Now these are things that are usually offered by your employee, and they're overseen by a large investment firm that oversees the investing holdings. And typically there's only certain things that they'll allow you to invest in, and basically it's whatever they say. But we all remember what happened with Enron, because these typical holdings are stocks, bonds, mutual funds. Sometimes it could be coins, or not coins, but like gold and silver. But basically, they're depicting where you're putting your savings. So it's almost as if you're gambling with your future. You know, you don't know these people on a personal level, these financial planners or these people that are working for Merrill Lynch or whatever these big firms are, Goldsmith and Sachs, I believe. But you're saying, here, I'm going to give you my money, my retirement, my future, and you guys are going to make good decisions on my behalf. But they don't know what your plan is from somebody else's plan. Maybe your plan for what you want to do with your retirement money is totally different than what somebody else wants to do. So how can they all give you the same cookie cutter investments? And yeah, it's true, they may be anywhere from 3 to 6% on your return, but the risk is a lot higher. Because if you're watching anywhere in the market right now, you're seeing that all these interest rates, you know, they're getting inflation, it's all voluntary, they're having, you know, stuff from other countries or nations that are interfering with our interest rates, and they're all going off of the housing. They're saying, you know, a lot of it went up. Oh yeah, last year was great. A lot of people got more money in their pensions and whatnot because of the housing market. But what happens when that housing market crashes? So what's the alternative? Well, the alternative is you educating yourself enough to feel competent and confident to save for yourself. And that's what I want to talk about today. Funding your future is opening a self-directed IRA. I'm not going to get into what that is too much today. I'll probably do that in another video. But a self-directed IRA is a game changer. It allows you to pick the investments that you want. And typically it's real estate. I mean, you become the bank. Whether you want to be what's considered a hard money lender, or if you want to joint venture with persons like myself doing promissory notes, and you're just funding it, and it's a passive way for you to grow your wealth or your retirement or your nest egg. You get to negotiate your terms. You know, again, when your boss says, hey, we're going to get this 401k going for you and you just pay into it, or, you know, we're going to dictate what you do with it, when you can touch it, how much you can put into it. Well, now you're able, with the self-directed IRA, to negotiate your terms as well as your interest. And more often than not, you're able to get into the double digits. The fees that you're going to pay for a self-directed IRA, or a custodian that's overseeing it, making sure that all your paperwork and due diligence is in, is a fraction of what you pay for a financial planner. And I know from firsthand experience that even if you were to lose, let's just say $20,000 in a year, you're going to get a bill from that financial planner in a traditional investing, and they're going to say, hey, I did my job. You were warned of the ups and downs, and I'm sorry that you lost your money, but you still need to pay me out. But the self-directed IRA is saying that you're educated enough to make a confident decision whether you want to enter into this contract or not. And you have custodians that are making sure that all the paperwork is in on both sides for the investor and as well as you as the owner of the self-directed IRA. Just make sure that all the paperwork is covered. But again, it's up to you whether you want to do the deal or not, and you're able to negotiate these terms. And then lastly, the cool thing about self-directed IRA, since it is saving for your retirement, depending on how you set it up, depending on what you pick in the self-directed IRA, you get to choose when and if you pay taxes, or if you want to even get taxed on it. So there's different ways that you can work a self-directed IRA. If you want to get taxed now, if you want to get taxed in the future, if you don't want to be taxed at all, and your contributions that you put into it, which you could build up a lot faster than going through an employee. And the great thing is, a lot of people that have 401ks, they have IRAs, Roth IRAs, they can roll these over into self-directed IRAs, and it's not that hard. So today I want to talk about funding your future. Are you controlling your future? Are you controlling your money, or is someone else who doesn't have your best interest in mind, but just but knowing whether they feel or succeed in helping you, they're going to get paid? Who's running your money? Who's funding your future? So self-directed IRAs, if you get a chance, look into them. I'm going to shoot a couple of videos on the different types of self-directed IRAs and how you can get involved with them. All right, day 26.